All right, second installment of me going live here. So thanks for tuning in. I want to talk about a big topic that I'm going to try to boil down, but it's my view that there are some new things that we need to be doing when selling at the enterprise level. And after working with clients and training a bunch of sales teams over the last 5 years, I've tried to crystallize it into a concept that would be repeatable, that looks for consistencies across different solution types and organizations, size of the sale, length of the sale, and I've come down to a couple core areas that I'm going to rattle off for you here now so you can get a crash course in what I call basically GC2 selling, just because it's an acronym of the four things that I think are really critical. What's the first G? The first G is understanding their goals. So if you can understand their goals and show up understanding their goals, you can pass a credibility hurdle. You can have them understand that you know their business. And if you get them motivated to keep talking, you've already established that you're driving towards their goals that they hope to achieve too. So you can get alignment and hopefully energy from them to become, potential committed buyers. So first step, know their goals, do your homework. You can always ask to confirm them, but I think we should show up knowing them as best as we can. So that's your first G. Then you got to see challenges. What are the challenges that are going to make it hard for them to achieve that goal? And these challenges should be external to their organization, market forces, competitors, anything that they have to deal with that are outside their control, so to speak. So these challenges could be they're new to the market, they're a smaller company, they don't have an install base, any number of those things. So you want to also understand these challenges and get them to confirm that you know them, because we're still in that rapport building, credibility gaining, showing up. They haven't had to do much talking yet in the sales process. They should just be sitting back, appreciating that you've done your homework, you know their business, and you're speaking their language. Your ultimate proof point is I want that buyer to feel like, wow, it's like that seller's been in our staff meeting. They're listening in on what we're dealing with. That's where you want to be in terms of understanding. So we provide value. We drive the conversation. We, in my view, serve. If we're playing ping pong, we are giving value first before we even ask them any questions. So that's a courtesy to today's modern buyer. So understand their goals, understand their challenges. That's the G, that's the C. Now we go to the next one. What's the next G? Gaps. What gaps do you know that they have, and what gaps do we need to uncover? So common gap areas would be they might have resource gaps, skills gaps, expertise gaps, knowledge gaps, or experience gaps. And if you can highlight those and get them to confirm that those gaps exist, boy, you're in a really good position then. So you should be able to walk them through that. And in that process, you also want to expose a knowledge gap. You want to get them to realize, I don't know everything that this person knows. And if I could talk to this person further, or their company, we're going to benefit from that. If they are learning from you, they are going to stay in the conversation. So the gaps is twofold. I want to expose a knowledge gap that gets them itching to learn, that you're going to fill that knowledge gap. And then I want them to confirm that they have certain gaps in their ability to address those challenges that are ultimately limiting their ability to hit those goals. So that's the next one. The last C is consequences. It's the so what of this process, because all that we've done up to this point is still no good if there's no consequence, if they don't decide to act. So how do we get the consequences confirmed? You can propose some that you know from other buyers that have shared those. You can ask them to share their own consequences, but getting them to admit that there's consequences if they don't move forward with your solution is critical, because once they verbalize that, they have to take ownership as a professional courtesy to their business at that point. And now you're not pushing them as a salesperson, you're consultatively helping them solve those issues. So you wrap all that up, and then you finish with ultimately a why answer, that you're the best to help them reach their goals, overcome those challenges, address the gaps that are limiting their chance to be successful, and avoid the consequences that you've just highlighted and had them agree to. So that's the formula that, from top to bottom, that I propose. And I think it works across tons of industries. It gets you speaking their language. And if you notice through that process, how much did I talk about our product? Almost none at all. And the buyers will be so appreciative of that, that we're not there just vomiting product details at them. We're PowerPointing them to death. We're speaking about their business. We're getting on their side of the table and we're showing ourselves as a value add. That is a mandatory item for us today in selling. So please take a consideration of this. Try it if you want. Obviously, I'm available to talk further about it. I'd love to hear if you do try it. Send me a note, or if you have a specific challenge that you're curious about to see if it would work in your industry, yeah, I'll brainstorm a little bit with that too. So thank you for tuning in. If this type of content is valuable, please let me know, and I'll try to put more of it out there. So good luck and good luck selling.